Here's what you need to know if you want to get buried on your own property. A question that does come up from time to time, can I get buried on my own property? And the short answer is yes. Sometimes. It depends on where you live. So here's what you need to know before you start planning your backyard burial. One, the biggest factor is your local government. You see, some rural areas will allow home burials with the right permits, while cities and some suburban areas won't. Every state, every county is different. They have their own rules, and your first call should be to your local government. This is your local municipality or your health department. The second thing that you need to know is that you have to have paperwork and permits in place. You'll usually need to have a burial or a transportation permit. You'll also need to have a death certificate filed properly. And in some states, you do need to have licensed funeral directors as a part of this process to handle the legal and the public health requirements that are in place for these types of home funerals and burials. And this is not to give you red tape, it's there for making sure that everything is running smoothly and legally and respectfully. The third thing is about the health and environmental concerns. Obviously, you're putting a deceased person in the ground, so local authorities will want to check to make sure that the burial site is not going to affect groundwater or wells or your neighbors. There's also distance requirements between property lines, roads, water sources, and yes, even burial depth is regulated. And then the fourth thing to consider is thinking about the future. Here's the thing that most people don't think about. When you bury a body on your property, you then have to put it in a deed. This can also make your house harder to sell in the future. And then thinking about wanting to visit your said loved one, you have to file for an easement for family access. So if you think about your plan, you have to think about long term. Like, what is the plan for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the line? The home burials are a very beautiful and meaningful thing. However, there are some things that you need to keep in mind, and every state is different. And as you can see, a lot of the places in the United States do allow for home burials. However, there are specific regulations that go into each of those states. So let's just make sure that when we choose this option, we do it legally, respectfully, and we're thinking about things that won't get us in trouble.